Good morning, YouTube. It's a marvelous day in Texas today. It's just a day of excitement and exhilaration and energy. It's just a day that's of expansion and all kinds of ecstasy going on. I mean, I'm just filled with every kind of energy, and I feel the awareness rising this morning. It was just a nice, marvelous morning, nice and cool early this morning. Down around about 60. It was a nice day to get out and run and to do my 2 mile run and to do my exercises in. And later on this afternoon, we're supposed to get a nice rain, and so it's not going to get over 63, around 63 degrees today. So all day. So it's just going to be a marvelous day of where it's nice and cool and enjoyable, not too hot. And so I'm going to just really, really and truly enjoy today. I've got lots of marvelous inspiration that I am receiving, and always receiving a new creative ideas. And it's just a marvelous thing when you start raising your awareness and raising your consciousness and receiving all these marvelous things. It just makes you feel exhilarated all the time. And so I feel like today is just going to be one of those days when I'm just going to be just totally exhilarated and full of energy, and I'm going to accomplish great things today. And so I am just so thankful for the opportunity to get on here today and share with the YouTube audience all these marvelous things that are happening. And I just feel that people around the world are expanding their awareness. I seem like I can just sense it, that the people around the world are expanding their consciousness and their awareness this morning. And I feel like that people are receiving new ideas and new inspiration, and they're just beginning to feel that they've got the energy to do the things that they want to do, and they've got the creative idea to manifest what they want to manifest, and they've got the affirmations that they need, and that they're going over their manifestations. And I just feel like that there's just marvelous. Affirmations just being sent out all over the world, and I feel like that people are just getting themselves in the mood to receive more and more and more consciousness as we begin to raise our consciousness. And so this morning I'm going to really have a good time thinking about all these things, and I feel like that as we look forward to the leadership and everything of the world, I feel like that great leaders are going to be coming forth, that are going to be taking hold of things, and are going to begin to ship things into the places that they need to be, and getting ourselves on the right track for more consciousness raising, and getting ourselves on the right track for raising the prosperity of every individual around the world. I feel like that our leaders are going to lead us into a time of joy and prosperity like we've never seen. And so I'm just so excited about thinking about all of the things that are coming. So the marvelous things that are coming in the future, just over in the next 10 years, and especially on down the road 50 years from now, it's just going to get marvelous. And so I'm just so looking forward to it. And I'm going to have a nice cup of coffee this morning, and enjoy my breakfast and eggs that I fixed so wonderfully. I've got them fixed just right, and I'm going to just devour that down and enjoy that with my coffee, and listen to Tanya Love. I know that she always has marvelous ideas to uplift us. I know she's always raising her consciousness, and I know she's always exhilarated. And the ecstasy and the exhilaration and the energy I feel this morning will be raised another notch or two by listening to her program. I always listen to her every morning because it always just makes for a very marvelous day and gets everything started off right. And so I'm going to I'm just in the mood, I've got a nice rainy day today and cloudy, and I'm in the mood for this cafe mocha this morning. I'm just going to enjoy that. Look at that nice chocolatey taste that it has. It's just it has you can taste the coffee and the chocolate, just real thrilling taste to it when you begin to taste it that coffee and that chocolate mixed together the way that it is. It just lifts you up. Even on a cloudy day, it'll just lift you up and make your day feel good and marvelous and exhilarated. And so I'm just going to have that cup of coffee this morning and my breakfast and listen to Tanya Love. We'll see what she has to say and see if she can make me any happier and more exhilarated this morning. I know she will. What do you have for us this morning, Tanya?
Those of you that are adults now raising children,
if you
never were shown honor or respect, chances are you don't mean to, but you're doing that to your children. You're projecting that same misalignment upon your children. So a big part of what I feel love is, and what I, in my knowing, understand love to be, is not at all what we are taught on this planet. It is not at all what we are taught in love songs or in movies or in families, for that matter. And what we are taught is that if you love these family members, if you love this person, then you will go through just about anything for them. And that you will, there's songs, like that, I'd take a grenade for ya. There's songs that are like, what? The insanity of, I would lay down and die for you. Is this really love, or is that just really insanity, and it's really desperation, and I will abuse myself so much to prove my love to you. And it's very Romeo and Juliet, and man, that stuff sells in books, and it sells in love stories and movies. But it's you're getting gypped if you're going with it and if you're believing in it, because it's actually the recipe for disaster. It's the exact recipe for destruction and enslavement, codependency, and abusive. It's just abuse and addiction to the core. So we can celebrate these things, and we do have a way in society of making really dysfunctional things look really glamorous. But we need to start to really look into it and like, what is love? It's not these things. It is not attachment. It is not, from what Source tells me, it is, we are to be unattached by role or title. If we live in our alignment with Source, with our connection with our highest intuitive self, our highest aligned knowing, we are to live in that space of alignment, loving self fully, honoring self fully. And from that alignment, we look out of the eyes of awareness of, how do I feel about the energies around me? What do I feel about grandma? What do I feel about this strange man that's trying to like push through my healthy boundaries? What do I honestly feel about that? Now, when we're in our power, when we have what I call empowered love, and I think in like the 80s, they called it tough love. And I think tough love almost seems like it was like we were kind of coming to this understanding of actual love, but the tough love almost still feels to me controlling and a little bit abusive. And so if we can scrap all these different things we've been told and taught that don't really feel good, what if we come from this place of empowered love where I love myself and I care about myself, I honor my inner knowing, I trust my intuition, and I care about how I'm treated. Now, if I care about how I'm treated, it doesn't mean everyone around me cares. And a lot of times when a soul's just graduating and crossing that bridge from this very enslaved life to an empowered life, a lot of the people they've drawn to them in their old movie were very much enslaving, energetic vampire kind of people that come in, they take from you, until they took too much. And there's that day that comes for every soul where you're just freaking done. Like, you are done being taken from. You are done being abused. You are done being disrespected. And so as we go through that process and we really get to that place of, I am done with this, we can take our power back and we suddenly start to feel like, maybe I tolerated that before, but I'm not tolerating it anymore. And I love myself and I deserve to be treated with respect. Maybe before I let you talk down to me and I let you make me feel shitty and push me around energetically because of your fear, but it's not happening anymore. And so in a moment like that, for a lot of souls going through that, there will be people that will fall out of your life. There will be people that, they're kind of like, well, we kind of want to control you and we don't really agree with you. And like, I know in my life, when I came to this realization, oh man, did a lot of the board get cleared of who was in Tanya's life. And a lot of those people that once I had close to me, that I was in this space of how can I be enough for them. I was in not a good enough mode. When we don't really feel we're enough and we don't really love ourselves, we do a lot of stupid shit, period. And we will give our energy, we will give our time, we will give our power, we will give away our money, we will give away everything because we feel we're not good enough and we're trying to get the approval of the other, whoever that is. And so when we understand that and we can have that awareness, we can no longer enter any kind of agreements with another soul coming from that I'm not good enough place. If we're in a place of I am good enough, I love myself, I approve of myself, I deeply accept myself, now we will be looking out of eyes of what do I feel about these energies? When this one comes in, does it serve my soul to spend time with this one? Does it feel good to spend time with this one? Do I want to invite this one into my sacred space? Do I want to actually, when it gets to romance love, you really want to pay attention to this, because when we start to invite another soul into our sacred space, they're going to share the most sacred space with you. They're going to be in the bubble of your auric field with you. When you sleep in bed with another person, you are in that other person's energetic field. So you might want to really observe that energy before you choose to attach to it. This is really love. But when we're in codependency mode and we're in I'm not good enough mode, we just want anyone to come and hang out with us. So we'll tolerate a lot of stuff. We'll tolerate a lot of abuse. And most likely we'll have these addictive behaviors with sex. We might have people come in and we just let them use us, or we want to use them because we're angry that someone used us. And so it can become quite abusive and addictive. And the more a soul chooses that, the more they feel enslaved, the more they feel like they've given up their power, the more they feel, I'm not good enough. It's like that path will just continue to stimulate the ego that is so hungry for pain. The ego part of us wants suffering. It's hungry little monster. And like in our Sacred Soul Sister circle, we were talking about we must come to this place where we can laugh at the ego and where we can really see what it is this like little energy that's just hungry and it just wants to feed. It wants to stimulate fear and grief. And if we starve that ego, we can really start to shift our energy in a more healthy, empowered way. We start to tune into the intuitive side of ourselves. We start to listen to those subtle messages and we start to feel more powerful. But when we feed that ego, meaning I might be appearing to seem confident just sitting here, but while my friends are talking, my inner dialogue is going, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm totally fat. I feel so insecure. I bet you they think I'm fat. Oh, I bet you I made a mistake today. Why did I do that? I'm so stupid. Oh God, I wish I was prettier. I'm not as pretty as this friend. This inner chatter, so many of you do it. And if you don't want to own it, that's fine. But if you can own up to it and you can really have the awareness of how much internally we're beating ourselves up, this is how we will break free of the battle. We will break free of the enslavement of ego because we will no longer feed the ego part of ourselves. So when we get back to the topic, what is love? I feel at the essence, love is when we honor self, when we have self-love, self-awareness, self-esteem. All of that comes from alignment, from the alignment of self. When I truly love myself, I don't have to worry about doing stupid things. I don't have to worry about if I'm going to be good enough. I don't have to worry about if I'm going to do some dumb, destructive energy that's going to keep me in shadow and enslave me, because interestingly enough, when I'm in self-love alignment, I would do none of that because I love myself so much. But when we're in the shadow side and we are pretending to be in alignment, like we're pretending to be so confident, but we're really not feeling it internally, we will often do very self-sabotaging choices that will continue to enslave us. And so a big part of how do we get the love we want, we need to be that for ourselves. We need to, the simplest thing, meditate every day. I'm not joking about how important that is. I probably talked about meditation on almost every single show we've done for a year because it's that important. And it isn't some fancy chanting, wearing some kind of outfit and, rolling little mandala beads